Okay. Well, mentioning Terence Crawford, he had that big win over Canelo Alvarez. He cemented himself as an all-time great by doing that. A lot of people, Stacey, they look at Terence Crawford as this unbeatable fighter. Some say he's even better than Floyd Mayweather. I wanted to get your take, Stacey. How do you think Terence would have did against the likes of not just Floyd, but maybe even the four Kings, them kind of guys like Duran and Tommy Hearns?
What he had done?
Yeah,
he got knocked out. What do you mean? What he had done? I get so, I don't know. I don't get frustrated. I guess I get so
baffled.
I get so upset.
Yeah,
because I be thinking, where is all of this coming from? Who's saying all these things? Do they know boxing? And then when I research it, the people who saying it, no, they don't know boxing. They don't know boxing. Okay, that when you start talking about Roberto Duran, and you start with which I got him as number 4, my number 4 all-time fighter. I got Muhammad Ali. Mm-hmm. I got Sugar Ray Robinson, Muhammad Ali, Joe Louis, and Roberto Duran. That's my lineup right there. When you start talking about Hearns and Duran and Hagler and Sugar Ray Leonard, you're talking about a whole different era of fighters that these fighters right now, they couldn't be good sparring partners.
Damn.
You talking about who they can beat? You think Terence Crawford could go 12 rounds with Sugar Ray Leonard? You think he go 12 rounds with Duran? You think he go? Come on, man.
I think Thomas Hearns would have been a nightmare matchup for him.
Thomas Hearns, like I said earlier, we was taught to punch through a guy. Okay, to punch through. That's why they call him the hitman. Why do you think they call him the hitman? Look how tough Roberto Duran is. Roberto Duran is Sugar Ray Leonard said himself, he was so hard to hit, and he could hit hard. Everybody thought he was easy to hit. Roberto Duran was a real fighter. He was real. Sugar Ray Leonard, one of the all-time great. He can change in the middle of a fight. He can adjust. It's like he adjusted to Tommy Hearns. Tommy Hearns started winning the fight. Sugar came out and stopped boxing and said, I can't outbox Tommy. I got to fight him. So he walked him down. What did he do when he walked him down? He stopped him. Mm-hmm. See, these kind of guys you're talking about. I've seen Crawford get hit. I've seen Crawford get wobbled by Gamboa.
Yeah, Gamboa, Kavaluskas.
Come on now.
Yeah.
So he was getting hit by Hagler. We've been all over with. So stop mentioning those 4 kings with these modern day queens. It ain't happening.
Yeah.
It couldn't be them. I ain't saying that they're the best we have now. We look at their knockout records. Lately they ain't knocking nobody out.
Yeah. Well,
look at it.
Yeah, I know you spent time around Floyd Mayweather as a kid in the Michigan gyms and whatnot. How about Floyd versus Terence? If they ever fought,
it would be a good fight. It's be a very, very good fight, an interesting fight. Floyd would probably figure out a way to beat him. Now, there's one thing about those two fighters. They are mentally strong. So that's what would make that fight really compatible, because Floyd is mentally strong. Floyd have always been mentally strong. Terence is mentally strong. Mm-hmm. So those guys, if the fight is going Floyd's way, Terence is smart enough to do something to change it. Vice versa. So it's all in their mind. So that would be a great fight between them, because they're so mentally strong. I remember when Floyd was training in Las Vegas, and Mike would finish training, Floyd would come in. So I sit and I talked to Floyd one day, and I told him, I said, look, I've seen eyes like yours before. He said, who eyes, Stacey? I said, young man by the name of Sugar Ray Leonard. I said, you don't think you can lose? He said, no, Stacey, they ain't gonna beat me. I said, no. I said, you really believe that's before he even won a title. I said, you really believe that too? I can see it in your eyes. I said, you're gonna win titles, championships in 4 different weight classes. I said, you watch and see. So then at the WBC convention, I said, remember when I told you that? He said, no, Stacey, you lied. I said, you mean I lied? He said, well, I didn't win 4-1-6. I said, okay. But mentally he's strong. Yeah. Floyd gonna try to win. He wants to win. He hate losing. Yeah. Terence gonna try to win. So the mental thing makes a great fight. Yeah. That will make a great fight.
And they're both, master counterpunchers, two of the best counterpunchers of their era. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But you can't put Devin Haney and Shakur them uh, with them on that level. They can't not on Floyd. The level Floyd beat the hell out of both of them. He beat all them boys. There ain't no doubt about it.
Yeah, I think
You know,
so. I think so as
and
well.
the greatest fighter of all time, there's only one fighter that's on a pedestal by himself. You got the four kings here, but you got that one fighter over there by himself, and that was Sugar Ray Robinson. Sugar Ray Robinson on that side. But if you go to heavyweight, you got Ali over here, and you got Sugar Ray Robinson. Sugar Ray Robinson, that's Ali's idol, was Sugar Ray Robinson. So Robinson was the ultimate fight genius. He had everything. He had power. He had speed. He had footwork. He had everything. His skill level was so high. He also had something that most fighters didn't have. And I don't think we got a chance to see him at his best. Once that kid got killed in the ring, he started pulling his punches. And that was because he realized that I could actually kill a man at any time I want to in the ring. Well, most guys would tell you, "Oh, I'll kill you in the ring." That's just talk. But Ray Robinson knew spiritually that he could do that at any time. This is why when he started his program in California, he had all different sports. Flojo came out of his program. He had all sports except boxing. He didn't have boxing. He said he didn't want boxing only because he knew what he could do himself.
Did you ever meet him?
Oh yeah. I was lucky enough to meet all those old guys. Joe Louis and all them boys. Jake LaMotta. Sit and talk with them. Henry Armstrong. Sit and talk to all them guys. I've been lucky.
Yeah. No. Joe Louis. Joe Louis is one of my favorite fighters, actually. What do you remember about meeting Joe Louis?
Joe Louis?
Yeah.
Well, see, I knew all the guys from Detroit that came up with Joe Louis. So when I got a chance to meet him, we sit and talk about his style and all that. There's only one kid had basically his style in Detroit, and that was Bernard Mays with the short punches and the little skip. The little skip and the short punches. There's no other fight, no other heavyweight or other fighter that had that little 6-inch punch like Joe. Joe would hurt you. And this is why I told Mike got ready to fight in Detroit. He wanted to fight Galata. He wanted to train in Detroit. He wanted to train at Brewster Center where Joe Louis trained. So we went down there and we trained at Brewster Center. And so I told Mike, I said, listen, you in Detroit, you train at Brewster Center. I said, if you win this fight against Galata, I told the press this. If you win this fight against Galata, I thought I was crazy. I said, if you win this fight with Galata on a decision, you ain't win the fight. So I'm telling you that right now. I said, but you got to break something. Yeah. Joe Louis would break bones. He break jaws. He break ribs. I said, now you in Joe Louis' hometown. I said, the only way you win, you got to break something, Mike. What Mike do? He fractured his ribs and he fractured his vertebrae in his neck. I said, now you done won. So there's a few fighters that could actually go in there and break bones. So, that's a few. So, it's crazy, but that's the game we in.
Yeah, the hurt business.
We in the hurt business.
The hurt business.
If you don't want to get hurt, Shakur, don't come.